Hello, my name is Bambi Harris. I'm the author of over 30 novels. I'm actually getting closer to 40 now. I just wanted to share another writing tip with you in hopes that it helps you along your writing journey. Today we're going to talk about characters and their descriptions. I have to say, when you're writing a book, it's a good idea to keep some not only guidelines, but also maintain the information that you've already written. So I will say I'm a little guilty that not all the time do I monitor everything that I write. Sometimes you're in such a trance, you're just like constantly writing, and you've got all these pieces of information in there and you don't bother to write it down. But I will say I've had to go back, like when I've written a series, I've had to go back to previous books to look up someone's eye color. And you think, well, that's kind of trivial, but trust me, if you've got dedicated readers, they're going to notice if you change someone's eye color. So first of all, the very basics of it is try to keep an eye on everything about your characters. It's especially important when you write a series, a trilogy, or something like that. But even when you're like in chapter 1 and then you're writing chapter 26 or something, you're going to want to make sure that you know enough about the character. Usually if you're pretty in tune with what you write on a regular basis. I mean, I've been doing this a while, so I have a good memory for what I've written previously. But I will say that even if I remember a lot about my characters, I won't necessarily remember every single detail. So if they've got strawberry blonde hair, you want to remember that. You don't want to say they have strawberry blonde hair and then change it to brunette. Write down their names, their ages, their hair color, eye color, their general physique, if they have a missing limb, if they have a funny ear, if they have a dimple when they smile. Write down all this information. It will really help you along the way, because when you want to start talking, even in dialogue and things like that, you don't want it to go straight dialogue, straight description. And we'll talk about that in future writing tip videos. But you want to be able to break it up and say, she pushed her brown hair out of the way, or her big blue eyes dimmed a little when he said that, or something like that. You want to reference what you already know about them to give them that character, to bring them to life. Now, not just appearance, but quirks of personality. So if one of them, like one of my characters, had a habit of humming when he was nervous, try and remember that, because it makes it more credible when you're writing and when someone's reading it going, oh yeah, that's what that character does. They hum when they get nervous. And at some point you might even be able to get them to hum and not say that it's because they're nervous. The reader will have gotten to know that. So you'll say they started humming, and then the reader will say, oh, he's nervous about something. So you want to keep all those little tidbits in there. And that's the basics on their appearance and their little quirks. And the one more thing you want to put in there is the history of the character themselves. So their mother, father, were they born in an orphanage? Are they a different nationality? Anything about their history. Maybe they went to prison, or maybe they had amnesia, or they had a previous relationship that they, that haunted them or something. All of these different things are very important to write down, because you'll be able to reference them later. Not just that, but it makes the reader understand why each character does a certain thing. If they understand their history and understand their old habits and what they've done in the past and what they've dealt with, then they'll have some kind of sympathy, empathy, or understanding of why they do certain things. This is what makes the essence of a book, a readable book, a credible book, something that's really feasible, is to make the characters three-dimensional. It's very important, or multi-dimensional even. Not just how they look, not just what they do, but why they do certain things. What are they thinking about? Why do they lash out? Or why do they go quiet? Or why do they hum? All of these things bring characters to life, because each of us are imperfect, quirky beings. We're not just straightforward. No one's straightforward. So bring everyone to life. So if you have 5 people in a room You're not just going to say how they look. You're going to say this character is sad. This character looks across the room and is reminded of something from their past. This other character draws close to this other character, attracted to them, or another one is drawing away because they're fearful of them. All of these things are important. The history of a character is just like the history of you and I. It brings us to life and forces or enforces what we do in our everyday living, and that will make it more realistic. You won't have 5 people reacting the same or acting the same in a room, so you want to write the characters like that and know their history so you can understand and convey who they are. I think that's all I wanted to explain about character descriptions. Make sure you get their last names correct. Nicknames are also important. Nearly all of my books, characters have nicknames. So my current book, the female character, her name is Flora, but her uncle calls her Biddy. He calls her that because he met her when she was small, and he called her, she was a little bitty thing. Her best friend growing up calls her Flea, just because it's short for Flora or whatever. Another one might call her Miss Ashbourne because he's more, professional towards her, more formal. So nicknames are also important. Write down everything that you learn along the way. When you're writing people, you learn about them along the way. Write it all down so you can get it right, so the reader doesn't go, hang on a second. So I hope that helps you today. So that was character descriptions. Again, if you have any questions, I'm going to have many future videos that I hope help you, but I will try to also answer any questions you have if you write them on the video. Please subscribe. I have a little red subscribe button. Click on that, and then next to it there's a little bell. Click on that as well. That's for notifications, so you'll be notified when I do future videos. I intend to put these out every Saturday. I wish you well, and I appreciate your support. Thank you, and have a good day.